Hey, welcome to AntLab Games. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Francis.
And today we're going to play Watergate.
We're going to have Fee and Watergate.
We're
going to lead the Watergate investigation.
Yes.
Or perhaps we will be trying to...
cover it up.
Covering up the Watergate investigation.
It depends. We haven't picked roles yet, so we'll get there.
All right. So Watergate is it's a card game for 2 and only 2 players. Mm-hmm. We'll be kind of struggling back and forth in kind of a tug of war.
Like a Twilight
Like
struggle?
a little Twilight struggle. A little mini Twilight struggle. Designed by Matthias Kramer for Capstone Games. This one plays in about 30 to 60 minutes, depending on how quickly you either drive the investigation off or how quickly you capture Nixon. So,
right.
I guess that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, so join us at the table. We'll show you how it plays. All right, welcome back.
Welcome to Watergate.
To the Watergate investigation. So what is Watergate? Watergate is a 2-player game, as we said, where one player will take the role as Nixon, and the other player will take the role as the editor.
Yes.
Right? We've not chosen roles. This is not something we normally do. We usually get everything ready pre-game, but in this, I think it's pretty easy to just jump right in.
Yeah, and we both played both sides, and we both enjoy both.
Yes, so they're both equally fun. So we'll let the game decide for us. Yeah. So jumping to the table, we'll jump right into the setup real quick. Take a look. We'll go through the setup, what kind of all the components mean, and we'll go ahead and choose roles. So this is the main game board, which is really just sort of an investigation track where the editor is trying to link evidence from informants to Nixon.
Right.
If 2 informants are linked to Nixon with a solid line of evidence, the editor immediately wins. Nixon's goal is to stall for basically 5 times.
Yeah.
Earn momentum 5 times, and then he wins. So it's really a race to see how quickly can Nixon stall this investigation versus how quickly can the editor link evidence to Nixon. So that's basically the game, right? And it's really just a card-driven game where we'll be playing cards. Over here we have a research track. This is the editor's side. This is Nixon's side. Throughout the game, we're going to be pushing influence
and momentum.
Initiative, and momentum, trying to get it towards your side because obviously Nixon wants to collect momentum. He does it 5 times, he wins. Initiative is going to decide who goes first, and the first player always gets more cards. On the left, you have informants. So this is the informant supply. They will at some point be coming onto the board either by the editor or by Nixon as the editor to support them in their case to build links, or by Nixon to block them off so that they can't be linked to the case. So he wants to control that. That's pretty much it, I think.
I think that's it. I'm ready to get started.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I decided to for the selection is we've got these 2 tokens. The white will represent the editor. The red will represent Nixon.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to shuffle them up, put 1 in each hand.
All right, we think.
Or maybe I'll have 2 in each hand.
Do this.
Or maybe there'll be none in each hand.
I would be so impressed.
Was that good? I'd be on Penn and Teller.
You'd fool us.
I would fool us or them. You ready? So you are the editor.
I'm always the editor.
You're always the editor. So,
all right. So
you are going to get, there are 2 decks. One deck for the editor.
Yes.
1 deck for Nixon. So we've got that. As the editor, you are going to have initiative. And you are going to get 5 cards for your for every hand, basically, as you have initiative.
As your initiative, yeah.
As Nixon, the first thing you need to do is take 3 research tokens. I didn't talk about this yet. Evidence. So in this bag, this black bag that came with the game, you've got a number of evidence tokens ranging in all the different colors. There's blue, there's yellow, there's green. There's combinations. There's a couple that have all 3 colors on it.
Right.
And that's important because those pieces of evidence are going to be what we're fighting over for either the editor to build links or for Nixon to block links, right? Because he's going to be redacting some of this evidence. So I'm going to be bringing out 3 tiles of evidence, and I'm going to keep them face down, and they're going to be open knowledge for me as Nixon, but not to the editor. So the editor will not know until these tokens start moving. So I'm going to draw 3. I get to look at them, and I'll show the audience at home
and I will look
the colors of these, right? And these all go face down. They're important for me to know, and I can look at them at any time during the game because the editor is going to want to try to start moving this evidence towards the 5 on her track. Because if she gets the evidence, or the initiative,
right,
or a momentum token to the 5 on her track, or if I get one to the 5 on my track, you immediately get to claim that.
Yes. Okay.
Did you already draw your starting hand? Let me draw my starting hand of 4 cards. Let me give this a quick shuffle.
So this board.
You ready to expose Nixon and the Watergate scandal? And for thematic reasons, the different evidence tokens have different meanings. If you're familiar with the
scandal.
With the scandal, so you've got the checks to the Committee for Re-election for the president. So you're trying to expose
all the money,
the linkage of the checks that were used to pay these bad
plumbers.
dudes, the plumbers, the burglars, whatever you want to call them. You've got these green, which are really the transcripts of the White House tapes that Nixon basically recorded every conversation, which has really led to his downfall. And then you've got the plans of the Watergate facility where the DNC was broken into. So with that, we're just literally going to play cards until we run out of cards. So that's how the rounds go. And you can explain how the cards work.
All right. Cool. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the way that these cards work is the following. So I'm going to play this card, for example. Now, each of these cards has an evidence token clipped to it, as well as a number, and then your option to use the token. So what this indicates is this track. So what we're going to be doing is, as Anthony said, moving the evidence and the influence or the initiative and the momentum up and down this track, hopefully in our favor. And on each of these cards, we have the ability to do that to the value of the card. So this one, for example, would allow me to move a blue evidence token 2 steps, or one of the tokens 2 steps. And I'm not going to do that because I'm going to play it for its event. So each of these cards also has some text. So sometimes it's a one-time event, other times it's multi-use. But this one is called Recruit John Dean.
Ooh.
So what this does is allows me to recruit John Dean as an informant. So the picture of Dean must be in the potential informant supply, which is over here. And I'm going to take John Dean and I'm going to go talk to him and use him as an informant. I'm going to pin his picture face up to the evidence board. So he has a slot on here, as everybody does. And I'm going to say, all right, I've got you and I've got all my notes with you, I guess, thematically. I also get to move on the research track. I get to move the initiative token or the momentum token 1 step.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to move the momentum token 1 step towards me. Okay.
All right, and that card...
and this goes out of the game.
Is actually, when you use it for its text, these cards are removed from the game.
The event ones.
Yes.
Some cards that we have will have text on them. They're not removed.
Right, but there's a lot of cards that if you use them, the most powerful cards, you end up having to remove them from the game. They're really one-time use because you will cycle through your deck. So using those at the right time is very important. So what I'd like to do, my turn, is I'm going to do a similar move, and I'm going to go for one of the informants. I'm going to secure the support of Alfred Baldwin. So by doing that on the Nixon side, I'm actually going to place him redacted. So he is no longer available.
He has been bought.
Yeah, he's been bought out. He's not available as a link, so he can't be linked to Nixon in his current state.
Right.
Face down. So now I also get to move, on the research track, I get to move an initiation or a momentum token 1 step. So I will bring momentum back to the center because as Nixon, I obviously want to get a lot of momentum. So I'm going to remove that card from the game.
Okay, awesome. I think I'll start by doing this. Okay, so... all right, so the way that this works, because I don't know what evidence is out there. So when I play these evidence or these cards for the evidence movement, I have to find out whether the evidence is there. So I'm going to ask Nixon, is there yellow evidence? In very
I'm going
Fish
to
style.
yes. I have to let the editor know if there is, and my answer is go fish.
There's none.
There are no yellow evidence tokens out there, so no plans are available right now.
Okay.
So you cannot use that card to move evidence, but you now have to use it to move influence or momentum.
Yeah. Yep. So I will move momentum back towards me.
Okay. So
this goes just in my discard. That does not
because
go
you
out
did
of
not use it for its text.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to use this card as an event. It's called Operation Gemstone, right? So what I'm going to do is, on the research track, move the momentum token and the evidence token 2 steps each. 2, 1, 2. And this is out of the game.
Okay. All right, is there green evidence?
Yes.
Okay. So I will move green evidence.
So I will now reveal it, and it is now moved 2 spaces towards the editor.
Okay.
I'm going to play this card for its value, 4. So I'm going to move the momentum 1, 2, 3, 4, and then
immediately take it.
Immediately claim momentum as
Wow,
Nixon.
okay.
And now I didn't use it as an event, so I will just discard that.
Yikes. Okay. Interesting. I see what you're trying to do.
I've got to stall this campaign. I need the world behind me. Because unless a president can protect the privacy of the advice he gets, he cannot get the advice he needs.
Okay. All right, I'm going to play this card for the token movement, and I'm going to move this back 2.
2? All right.
Yep.
And I'm going to move green. Oh, I don't... should I move that back? I'm just going to play this to move this token up 1.
All right. Is there another green evidence token?
No.
Really?
Yes.
All right. So I've got to move it back here, which
All right.
does nothing for me.
Which actually helps me.
Why?
Because initiative switches players.
Well, I
if
know,
on
but
the-
it's not like it helps you.
Oh,
'cause
no,
it's on
it-
your side anyway.
Yeah, it's getting me initiative.
It doesn't help me, is what you meant
No,
to
so
say.
it does not help you, yes. All right,
All
so
right.
now the way the end of the round resolves is very important because timing here is everything. So any evidence token still on the 0 space on the research track, go back to the bag, right? The initiative token gets awarded. If it's on the 0 track, initiative goes to the player who did not have initiative
Right.
before. Now Nixon has initiative now. Award this round's momentum token. I'd already taken it, so
Right.
that's not going to happen. A new token comes out to replace it. Now we place the initiative token, and put them out there, and now we award
Evidence. So even though this didn't make it to the 5, it's still on my side, so I get to take it and pin it to the board. So I will put it right here.
to build a link.
There we go.
Now there are some evidence tokens that will have a red circle and say a 1 on it. If that were the case on this token, when she was to pin it, it would actually move momentum in her direction 1 space now. So
Right.
it kind of gives you a little
Little
forward
edge.
momentum because you posted the fact that you found news and you're like, yes, I've got this, and then momentum goes in your direction. So
Right.
that's the end of the round. I draw up. Now I get 5. I have initiative, so I actually get to go first. All right. Oh, indeed.
You need to bring out some evidence.
Oh, yeah, I do. Sorry. So at the start of every round, like we did before, I need to bring out 3 new evidence tokens. Oh, my. So let me show the folks at home what I'm bringing out here. And then I will quickly redact them. Okay. So Nixon is coming out of the gate. Whew. My. Okay. So I'm going to play a conspirator. So the Nixon deck has conspirators, which are really nice because they're events, but they're not one-time use. So I'm playing Howard Hunt.
Okay.
And this guy's so good. On the research track, move the momentum token 2 steps. Then draw a card from your draw deck and play it immediately, choosing its value or action party. So it's like I get a double turn with
really
this
good.
card. And I got John Dean, which you've already brought out. So to me, the event on this is useless because a requirement to play this is the picture of John Dean must be in the potential informant supply. So all I can use is the number movement. So either 2 blue or 2 movements on these tracks. So let me see if I want to move some evidence here, if it's worthy of doing. But I'm actually thinking I'm going to move this up to the 4.
All right, I'm going to bring out the support of James McCord as an informant. So he goes out. I bring out James McCord.
Yeah, another
pinned to
link.
The board. James McCord, pinned to the board. And then I move the initiative or momentum token 2 steps.
You're going to make me really push this, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. This is interesting. I might as well play this. Oh, that's a one-time deal, though. That's really not good for right now. I'm going to move a token, I think.
Okay.
I want to move a green token, 2 spaces. I'm going to use this card here, green token, 2 spaces. 1, 2. And anytime you move a token out of the 0 space, you have to reveal it.
Okay. I'm going to play this for the green and say 1, 2, 3.
I'm not sure if anybody can see
where
your cards are. If you want to move them up here, maybe.
Sure. Oh, like over here?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So, Rosemary Woods. I didn't play her as an informant, though. I just used this.
Oh, to move that 3 space? Wow, why are you pulling that one down?
What? Why not?
I don't like that.
I know.
Because I kind of want that. All right, I'm gonna move a blue token once, and I'm not sure if folks can see where I'm at here either. I just want to get my cards in a position that y'all can see what's happening here, because it's easier to follow. So I'm playing this guy for his token movement, and I'm going to push a blue token. Now this one is blue and yellow, so that still counts. So I'll move that up 1.
Oh, 1?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that 3.
Wow.
Because I'm playing it as a yellow.
I see. So I'm going to play this card as an event. It's the presidential election of 1972. On the research track, move any number of evidence token at a combined total of 4 steps.
Oh, that's so weak.
It's actually quite strong. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that goes out of the game.
This is so weak and terrible. All right, I'm going to play this for the event. It's going to go out of the game. It's called Who's Paying the Lawyers?
Oh, no.
On the research track, move the initiative token 2 steps. Move the momentum token 1 step. And up to 2 face-up evidence tokens 1 step each.
Wow, okay.
So, it's also kind of sort of weak, but whatever.
All right, I'm just going to move the green guy up 2.
Okay.
And end the round.
All right.
All right, so we return any evidence, unclaimed evidence, to the bag.
Yep.
We now award this round initiative. So you actually gain initiative.
Right, which I would have anyway.
You would have gained it anyway, so you are initiative.
Momentum goes to
get
you.
momentum, right? So then we put these back on the board.
Yep.
And now you claim any evidence because you now have initiative, so you go first. And now I get to pin this one. Now because it has this one red, I get to bump that up 1. And I pin it redacted side up.
Right.
So that I can block potential links. But it has to go on the color.
Yeah. Where
The respective
from.
colors, yeah.
Right.
And the editor can look at these face down ones once they're pinned on the board at any time just to make sure Nixon's not cheating. because he has been known to stretch the truth. He stretched the truth
a little bit, just a little bit.
All right, so you've got initiative, so I'm going to draw up 4 cards, and we are ready to start the next round. All right, so let me bring out some more evidence.
Yes, please do.
Not that I want to, but I have to. All right, let me show the audience at home what we're dealing with here. All right. Start us off.
All right. I'm going to start by recruiting Hugh Sloan as an informant.
All right, I'm going to block that event.
What?
Block one of the editor's events. Block card goes to the editor's discard pile. Then it's the editor's turn again. That's Conspirator John Mitchell.
Conspirator John Mitchell. He needs to go hang out with his wife.
He really does. Because she's bad juju. Because if it hadn't been for her, there'd be actually. I have the quote right here. If it hadn't been for Martha Mitchell, there'd have been no Watergate.
Yeah, that is true. All right, fine. Then I'm going to recruit Alexander Butterfield.
All right, I'm going to block that event. No, I'm just kidding.
So you only have one of those cards, I think.
Nixon's a very powerful man.
Yes. All right, Alexander Butterfield. There we go.
Alexander Butterfield.
Why is it like
what is he, Southern? How do you know that?
I don't know.
All right, so then, as a matter of due course, do I want to play that? I'm not sure. Well, I might as well do this. I'm going to play Chuck Colson. The editor must discard one random card from their hand to their discard pile. Then it's my turn again.
It's your turn again. Not even my turn. It's weak.
It's my turn.
Nixon's
cheap.
So dirty.
He's got a lot of dirty friends. That's because when I complained to Colson, I felt confident that something would be done. I was rarely disappointed.
Yeah. Well,
there's great quotes on every one of these cards.
I just discarded the Watergate complex.
That's exactly what I needed out of your hand. Not that I knew it was in your hand, but I needed it out. Okay, so then I'm going to...
Well, you would if you were taping it.
I guess so.
Taping everything.
I tape everything. I can see where you're building, though, and that's kind of...
I'm not really building anything.
Annoying. Well, I mean, I see where you've got some leads, and I don't really like...
I do have leads everywhere.
I don't like these leads. So I'm going to go ahead and just play Martha Mitchell to secure 1, 2, 3, 4. One more momentum token.
What? Man. Martha. She's killing me.
She's bad news. I'm telling you. Loose lips sink ships.
That is the truth.
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches do get stitches. Okay. All right. Well. Are there any yellows?
As a matter of fact, there are.
Okay, I'd like to move it 2 spaces, please. Thank you.
Just want to make sure I gave you the right one. Because that's a good one.
What?
What's a good one?
I don't think you can pick.
I'm going to play Conspirator Bob Haldeman.
Okay.
On the research track, move each evidence token 1 step.
What?
So I'm going to move both of these up 1 and bring that up 1.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's not helpful. All right, well, I'm going to play this for the token.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're going to take those greens.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I play this for the event and move all evidence back to the 0 space. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll play this for the event and move all the evidence back to the 0 space.
Read the event.
It says, on the research track, move the initiative token, which is already there, and all evidence tokens back to the 0 space. Okay. Then, move 1 evidence token 1 step.
Wow, that was a powerful event. What was it called?
It's called the Saturday Night Massacre.
Saturday Night Massacre.
You're fired.
You're all fired. All right, so that ends the round. That was a very powerful play.
Okay.
So these green tokens, wow, that would have been so strong for Nixon.
That would have been bad for me.
Yeah, so those go back to the bag, unfortunately. Initiative was yours. It is now
yours.
Nixon's.
Yes.
And we have the momentum is already gained, so we're going to bring new one out. Mm-hmm. And we are going to award these. So you get that yellow token, and you start with some momentum, which is not good for Nixon because we are 1 link away
from a link
from James McCord, and I do not appreciate that.
I'm like on his doorstep.
Let me go ahead and pull some evidence now.
Let me pull some non-yellow evidence out.
Oh, I need all yellow evidence, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's let the folks at home see all the yellow evidence I've just drawn. Okay. I get 5 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are off to the races.
Okay.
All right, so out of the gate with Nixon, I'm going to secure the support of Rosemary Woods. So she is the last green informant, and I am taking her.
Wasn't that his secretary with the pedal?
That she sure was. So, pin her picture face down the evidence board on the research track. Move the initiative token or the momentum token 1 step.
You're taking that back.
We are taking that back. I just need 2 more stall tokens, and
I don't want to hear it.
I am going to finish out my presidency.
Are you done?
In greatness, yes.
Are you finished? Finish him.
I like her quote. All I can say is that I am most dreadfully sorry.
I'm going to use that
Yes.
from now on if I'm ever sorry about it. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Wow, this is like so powerful.
Then you best use it.
All right. Well, I know, but I was going to use it for something else. All right. So I am going to use this for the text. Now, this is an example. This is Bob Woodward, the journalist. He is not an event.
So they can see him.
Oh, you can't see him?
Nah.
I'm sorry.
I had this zoomed in pretty tight because I want everybody to see the beauty.
If anybody has a solution for this, so you guys can see cards, just let us know.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Don't have a solution for
We do not.
Okay, so anyway, this is journalist Bob Woodward. Draw an evidence token from the bag. Any of the bag.
Oh, okay. I'll let you draw from the bag.
And place it onto the 2 space on your side of the research track.
That's pretty powerful.
Boom.
Nice.
On the research track, move either the initiative token or the momentum token 2 steps. So there. And he is not an event, so he gets to actually go my Discord.
He's kind of like my conspirators.
Happy.
Yeah.
My journalists.
Journalists versus conspirators.
Yes. The central dilemma in journalism is that you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Prophetic.
So I'm going to play, as a response to that, I'm going to play conspirator Gordon Liddy, right? And his quote is, obviously crime pays or there be no crime. And what he does is he removes 1 face-up evidence token from the research track and returns it to the bag.
And I'm going to block that with journalist Ben Bradley, which blocks one of your conspirators. And the conspirator's card is removed from the game.
Oh, you got rid of Gordon Liddy?
Yeah, by Gordon. Then it is the turn of the Nixon administration.
Oh, that's so terrible. All right, then I'm going to play conspirator John Ehrlichman. No. And on the research track, move the initiative token and the momentum token 2 spaces each. And remove 1 face down evidence token from the research track and return it to the bag.
Okay.
So, not so strong, but good enough.
That's pretty strong.
I guess.
That's pretty strong. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to play this for the event. The Rosemary stretch. Look at her stretching.
Yeah.
She's doing the Rosemary stretch. Take 1 face-up green evidence token from the research track and pin it to the evidence board.
Wow, you can just throw that right on the board.
Throwing it right on the board.
Why would you do that?
I don't have any time to waste.
I guess so.
You know?
Neither do I, actually.
Post haste.
Okay, so then I'm going to move this momentum token 2 spaces. I've got to go for the gusto. I just got to stall a little longer.
I like this card a lot for the event.
You're literally 2 evidence tokens away from winning this.
I know, and you're 2 tokens away.
I know.
So I'm going to play this for the 3, and I'm
Okay.
going to move this 1, 2, 3.
Then I'll play this for the 4.
I figured.
And I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to.
I know. I
need to end this now because we are way too close.
I just didn't really need blue evidence.
I know. So. Even though all the evidence I drew was blue. All of it, literally.
Really?
All three were just blue. It was terrible. Okay. I guess terrible for, not really terrible, because then you couldn't pin anymore. You got lucky by drawing that green.
I did.
So nobody got evidence, but I did gain, I maintained initiative. I gained my 4th momentum token.
I know, this is getting very
close. And there's no more evidence to pull, so I got to grab 3 more from the bag. Wow, this could be the very last round.
This could be.
So I have to push really hard for momentum one more time.
This is so scary.
Yes.
If you get one person, you could win.
Me?
You know?
Yes, I could technically win. It's very, it can go either way. And we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it after we're done, because it is very swingy.
Yes.
Well, not really that swingy.
Not swingy, but it's...
That wasn't what I meant, but it's like...
It really can go so many different ways. And it really depends on which power card you get.
It depends on what cards you get, definitely.
Oh yeah, we're giving way too much away at this point. 1, 2, 3,
what?
4,
about the game?
5. Yes. All right, so I've got my 5 cards. You've got your 4. We are getting ready to do the next round. All right, let's see if I have a win now card.
Win now card.
No.
The China card.
Okay. Yes, the China card. I want to play the China. Okay. Okay, so I maybe might be able to do it with Howard Hunt here. So we're going to start with Conspirator Howard Hunt again. On the research track, move the momentum token 2 steps. Then draw 1 card.
You have to do it with such gusto.
Then draw 1 card from your deck and play it immediately, choosing its value or action. So the value is 4. 4. So Nixon just won.
Oh no! That was anticlimactic.
It was just.
You should just pick a different card so we can finish.
Okay, we can do that. No, I can't do that. Sorry.
That's depressing.
Well, that was close. It could have gone. Yes, it was actually close, but I just happened to have some really good cards. So let's go talk about it.
You had one really good card.
One really good card.
All right, let's go talk about it.
All right, there you have it. Unlike reality,
I'm a bad editor.
Nixon got away with it.
I'm fired from editing.
You're no longer editing anything.
I'm not.
You're not even editing this video.
I know. Okay, so let's talk about this game because it plays very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Like many games we played this one wrong for a long time.
We did.
Not drastically wrong,
but
but there were a few things that we missed when we were playing originally that when you play it as we did just now, make a lot more sense.
Yes.
So this is a very quick back and forth, use your actions kind of game. It's not a long, it's not like a long game in the sense of like, okay, I'm going to use my first round of going through my cards and just use it for the evidence tokens. And then I'm going to get another chance. Like we just shuffled our decks.
Yep.
And the game ended. And it would have ended either way, probably this round.
Yeah.
Or next. So.
Yeah. We were a round or two away from either the editor winning or me getting another token.
Right.
And I just happened to pull some really good cards to get my momentum going.
And you revealed the evidence. We didn't even have any yellow.
There were no yellows this round.
So this round, actually, for me, I wouldn't have made.
There was a good chance you might not have been able to connect the yellow.
I don't think so.
You do have a card in the editor deck that allows you to turn over one of
you have
basically take one of the face down editors and remove them from the board, and then you'll still have their card because obviously you haven't been able to play it for the event.
Right.
To get them back on the board. It's almost like getting them out there. You also have the ability to flip one of my redacted evidence tiles
out. And I have one of those.
Yeah.
Not that it wouldn't have made a difference, but it's like you can you actually take it off the board, put it on the 0 space, and then you can claim it again later.
At some point. Yeah.
So that's a way to kind of mitigate some of this that Nixon's doing. But anyway, let's talk about it replayability wise. Because again, we've played this one several times.
Yeah, a good number of times.
And it always plays very quick, and it's always a lot of fun. But it plays differently, like
it does.
The editor versus Nixon.
Yeah, and I think the more plays you have of this game, the more you start to really understand the power of the cards.
Yeah.
I mean, at first it may seem like, oh, this guy's ability is so strong.
Right.
But this guy's also a 4 movement on a token, and that can mean the difference between, as you saw, getting the momentum token
Right.
or not, or having initiative for the next round where it actually matters, where you want to have an extra card to play that round, because that's very powerful. And each side plays so incredibly different.
It does.
That I think that the replayability there is, I think there's a lot of replayability.
I think so too. Yeah, and like again, it's so easy to get to the table, and it's easy to understand how it works because everything's on the card.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot of replayability.
The thing about it is, though, it's what I find interesting is each side, like you could play it as Nixon, like in this game, I'm like, God, Nixon's just OP.
Yeah.
Like he's just too powerful.
Right.
But in the very next game, you could kick my butt with the editor, and I'll be like, man, the editor's OP. They're both OP.
They are. Well, and that's one of those things where like a lot of these 2-player or like versus games that we've been playing recently are like, they work really well if both sides are OP, because it's like net neutral.
Yeah, you've got huge abilities, but you both have huge abilities.
Yes, exactly. So it makes it fun because you can kind of like strike down, no, you can't play that because I'm going to play this. And then it's like, okay, well, fine, I'll just play this instead, you know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. But as far as replayability goes, I think it's pretty high. I mean, not very variable. You're going to get the same experience every time, but that's part of the fun of it.
I think so, yeah. And you may learn something along the way.
You may.
About the history,
There's a lot of really good flavor text on here. So let's talk about weight and audience and kind of who this is for. Because I felt I had some different thoughts about this. Actually.
Really? Well, then let's hear your thoughts.
Okay. Okay, fine then. Do you like how I segued? Like
that was good.
No, I think that this is one of the games that we've played recently that I think would actually be really cool in like a school setting where you're learning about this anyway. And because we get a lot of these requests from like teachers and educators and things looking for games that they could use in the classroom. And we've seen some cool science ones recently.
Right.
But this is a really cleanly done historical narrative that's fun to play, and you really do learn a lot about, like, especially if you were in a classroom kind of learning about who these people are, getting the chance to actually assume those roles is really fun.
I think so, yeah.
It's really fun.
I would have loved this.
And it's accurately done, the photos and stuff kind of going into like theme and stuff.
And you could play this in one period.
You could, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a short,
absolutely,
it's
short enough. So, audience for this one for me was like a little bit, actually, like surprisingly outside the box.
Yeah.
Because I think that you don't have to be a super heavy gamer to play it, but it's also, I think, extends into something you could bring into the classroom, which is awesome.
And I wouldn't get turned like if you're so like I'm just so not into politics and history. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like which you could be like if it's for fantasy theme, I might be more, or if it was like a space theme and I'm trying to connect my planet to your planet. Like that's like theme aside, like the game itself you would be able to enjoy, like anybody could get into this and learn the game
without having to know the backstory.
You don't need to
like
know
that.
any of the historical characters. It's just you know what you need to do. You need to connect some colors and I mean it's not going to be as fulfilling, I don't think, but you don't need to be a history buff to enjoy this game.
But if you are,
if you are, it's a bonus. And like I said about the small time frame, playtime versus footprint, like it's kind of like, and I like to refer this as sort of like a Twilight Struggle light. Right? Because that's, to me, it's very close to that in that you've got a card that allows you to either play influence or you can play it for the text, right? Where in Twilight Struggle, though, like if you played a Russian card and you were the U.S., the Russian got their event triggered, which was terrible. So you don't have sort of that like a positive minus effect on cards. It's always positive for you, which is the difference there. But I think the fact that you're able to play the cards in a similar fashion, not really worry about managing the world board, right?
Yes.
And a game that's broken out into like early, mid, and late game, like where it
has to stay on the table for like hours.
You're there for hours. You may not even make late game. So it's like with something like this, you're going to play start to finish in under an hour.
Right.
Like that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge plus for this.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
To get that fulfilling sort of experience of, it's not two warring countries, trying to avoid nuclear fallout, but it is at least, one of you's trying to get away with one of you's trying to get away with the crime, and the other one's trying to, connect the evidence, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Yeah. So I think definitely a wide audience for this one. As far as theme and components go, components are great. I love that they use the actual photos of the people.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know what the alternative would be, but like cartoons, guys or
yeah, sure.
But it's
or no photos,
or no photos,
which would have been lame.
It would have been, because I think this really, like when you have like the Rosemary stretch and you're looking at her, who stretching across like her desk, doing her, political assistant stuff or whatever. It's neat. Like, it's cool to see all this stuff as you understand the history and as you're playing the events.
And the events are named after real events that were termed during this whole investigation. So I mean, the history is all here. You just have to look at it.
Yeah. So theme, in my opinion, is just off the charts. I loved it.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Yeah. A fun factor? Did you have?
I do. This game's fun. Really fun. And we don't like take that games, but the thing is with this, it's like it's all take that.
It is. Yeah.
You're just constantly trying to push each other, so it's not like. And you're not building an engine for me to tear down. I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're kind of like, you have an objective, and yes, you're getting in the way of that, but I'm also getting in the way of your objective.
Of course.
To the same degree. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that you're not like, you're assuming this role. So it's not like you're getting upset at each other personally. Yeah. It's like, no, you're like playing Nixon or you're playing the editor. Mm-hmm. So you're not, it doesn't feel so like attacky, if that makes sense.
Exactly. You're playing two parties attacking each other.
Right.
And, recreating history.
Yeah,
so it's not as
cool.
bad. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. As far as my expectations go, we picked this one up at Gen Con. Mm-hmm. And we had heard a little bit about it. I know that I was like, this is definitely one I want to get out and play, and it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah,
I don't know what your
too.
expectations were.
I had honestly, I had low expectations. Just because
the theme, like history
the theme really didn't sing to me. Even though I'm starting to find that I am a bigger history buff than I actually thought. Yes. So I was really, really surprised by how much I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it. I hope we gave everybody just a quick overview of how this game plays, how quick it plays, and just the power of we went through the deck, so you got to see pretty much every card. Right. You just didn't get to see the events in every card, but I think that's for you to discover if you want to get into this game. It's it's a small package
for sure.
I think it's a low price point too.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a good 2-player only game, you say you love Twilight Struggle, this is a no-brainer.
Right.
Something to that nature where you're just going against each other and something that plays in under an hour, like.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer. Yep, slam dunk. So, hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Thanks for watching. That sounded very weird.
So
hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Yes, hope you enjoyed the playthrough.
You have like that old-timey voice, like, thanks for watching the playthrough.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.